Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Nur.
My name is Nur.
And together we are Light-Hearted
Dads. Yeah, so school is back. I'm loving it.
Why? You got 15 months here. 15
I know.
months, yo.
No. The thing is, like, the kids are back. Obviously, I got other kids that stay with me. The kids are back at school. They come back tired, which is good. They go to sleep early as well because they're tired from day running around. They come home, they have a little nap, they wake up, do a bit more running around, and then they're gone back to sleep, waking up early. They're in a routine. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
That's all it is, man. It's the routine. I wake up 7 o'clock, 6:45, get my laptop on, jump onto work. Soon as they wake up about 8 o'clock to go to school. So there's only a time like where, I don't know, good 15, 20 minutes. I just stop from working and then let them get ready, use the bathroom, and they go. And then literally the whole day was quiet today. And the only time that I had to actually do anything was when my son and me are having breakfast together around 10:30. So that was good. So
But routine is really important. I think that's one of the things that picks up for me. That, when you've got the kids and everything goes, alhamdulillah, it's fantastic, it's great. But routine is when you've got. I'm a guy of routine. I need routine, and if routine isn't there, I just feel disheveled. Just like I find it very hard to work and trying to get things running. And I know a lot of parents. One of the things that you have is some parents, they get so happy. Obviously, it's static. Oh, kids are back at school, fantastic. I can be free. And sometimes then guilt also comes into parents. They're like, does that make me a bad parent? That I actually am happy the kids are going back to school. That I'm happy that they're not at home. And I get asked that quite a lot. What would be your response? What would you be response before I say anything anyway? What do you think? Do you think it's a bad parent to say that they're happy?
Nah, bro. Like, if you got a routine, the kids need routine, right? Because if they don't have a routine, then that messes up your routine. So in order for you to be efficient with your timing, and you're a busy man, and you have to give time to your wife, important. You have to give time to your mom. You have to give time to every single one of your kids, as well as your companions, your business, and the other things that come onto you that you're not aware of, like literally randomly gets chucked at you. So you need to have a routine. So, okay, let's go deep into it, right? So for the fathers out there and the mothers, of course, for everyone out there, how does a routine look?
Well, what my routine looks like, or what should a routine look like?
What should a routine look like? Like, obviously, your one could be different due to circumstances. Generally, because for me, I still don't have a routine. Does it make sense? I work, son wakes up, carry him, give him something, and keeping him busy with like technology or something along those lines.
Yeah, routine wise, I always say, look, it's important that you do get people to routine, because we're creatures of habit, and we need to create routines. And routines create. We talked about before about habits, and what routines do is they can help you create good habits as well. So a lot of parents, they focus on okay, how can I develop the child, Quran and all of the other things that you want to try to build in within your child. So it's really important we do try to create some sort of routine, some structure within the day. But at the same time, I would say don't get so set on the routine, because sometimes you can get so set on it that you miss the purpose of the routine. You can say, no, every day you have to do this thing, and if you don't do it, then you've kind of almost failed. But then you realize, what's the essence of it? For example, you want your children to love Quran and read Quran and so forth. And so then you set every day certain maybe activities about learning Quran, for example. And there might be a day your child's not feeling it, or something's not gone right, and then you feel, you still have to do it. What ends up happening is, it's good intention that you have, but what can then happen to the child is they can start building up resentment towards it, because they're like, sometimes you have to take the child's needs and situation into consideration as well. So I remember some parents complained to me, because when the first lockdown happened and we did a webinar, I did webinars, and one of them was about homeschooling in the pandemic. And in there I said, I literally said, don't worry. You know, you're coming home thinking, okay, my kid's learning enough. I'm supposed to supplement the learning the supposed to have at school. That's what they would have done at school. I just turned around and I said, don't worry. I said, they're going to go back to school. For those who are non-homeschooling parents, I'm talking about those who have kids and don't go to school. They're going to go back to school. The teachers will already have a plan in place to catch up the kids who have fallen behind. Yeah. And they're the ones, they'll do all of that. Yeah. So if they're at home during that first time of the pandemic, it's also very, because remember the first when the lockdown was all uncertainty in it. People were going crazy, cleaning the shopping aisles out. You know, it was just like, you know, the world's going to end kind of situation. And people's loved ones, close people were passing away. As a focus on your child's mental health. Just be there with them, spend time with them. Don't worry about that. So it's that thought I'm saying that we should keep in mind, that let's look from the child's perspective. That if you want something to grow, you nurture within them. I know I've really weaved off into different tangents. But that's why it goes back to routine. Creating the routine is good, but also don't be so fixated on it. Allow some flexibility here and there and look at the situation. That's the key message. But routine is, look, early wake-ups are always beneficial. You know, for the parent, for the children. You know, early wake-ups are always the best.
But you know, in those cases, yeah, I just want you to touch on it. Touch on the fact that I'm a victim to. Sorry, not I don't say victim. I have put my hands up on this, right? I'm very bad at getting up, getting the kid ready, or going out, making sure that, you know, my son has everything ready before we go out. I don't do any of that. A lot of fathers don't wake up and get their kids ready. A lot of mothers do. Like, it become a mother's role, and sometimes the kids play up on the fact that the mum's waking them up. Like, what can a father do at that particular time, or anything like that? I just want you to bring that into the whole thing. To think about, like, what our audience can pick up, inshallah.
Yeah, I think
from the routine.
Definitely. Look, when you're creating routines, remember this: if you're creating a routine, it helps you with just your general daily life. But I'm looking at a perspective of cultivating your child, developing new habits and processes and all of those things.
Okay.
Yeah? Now, if we should always keep that in mind, when you have a routine, that's what you're looking at. It's going to help their development and their growth. Because one of the primary objectives of a parent or responsibility is that they provide tarbiyah, which is that nurturing element, that growth and that development within them. Now, in order to do that, we said it before, remember, your actions speak louder than words. So if you're the dad who's always going to just lie in and let your mum do everything, the boys are going to pick up on that. They're like, oh, God, you know, dad doesn't, you know, why should I? You know, he can sleep, and I'm also a guy. And then the girls will realize, oh, we have to get up. And it starts creating this culture and generations of people thinking, oh, men are like this, men are... And then you start creating this stereotype. Men are lazy. Men are the ones who just like, oh, no, I can't change a nappy, or it's a wife's duty. You know, you see all these little videos going around on Lad Bible and other stuff like that as well, where they have you know, these little kind of videos of dad trying to I remember there's one with the dad trying to change a nappy and he just couldn't breathe. He's like throwing up. I think it's serious. Like, seriously, you know, it's not that bad.
Nah,
yeah.
it isn't.
So, you know, you start creating these stereotypes and people live up to those stereotypes, and that's what you want to break. You want to change and create a generation. And I always said, go back and look at the example of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, we talked about, you know, you said it before, he helps around the house, and, you know, this phenomenon was going around. But the truth of it is, yes, he did. When he was free and able, he helped. But he didn't, like I said, do it 24/7, because obviously he had so many other things to do. So same thing when you're the dad. If you're at home and you're free and able, chip in. Why would you not sit back and say, oh, no.
I'm tired.
Yeah, but is your wife not tired?
You're right. I'm just saying in terms of like, oh, I worked all day. I'm thinking out like as a guy.
Yeah. All right. Let's do work all day. Yeah? And I should throw this one out. Yeah. These days, the majority of work is it a physical job?
See, being in a chair actually drains you, no?
It can drain you, but is it physically laborious?
Well,
meaning unless I'm not talking about the brothers who are actually doing physical work, like, you know, those who might be, you know, builders. These brothers, mashallah, you know,
they're
physical,
soldiers, man.
They are. Yeah, the physical work, or, you know, I don't know whether you are, you know, you're what do you call it? Cycling, doing the deliveries and whatever. You're doing some physical.
Yeah, but do you think? Okay, like I'm just putting it out there, right? Do you think physical energy and mental energy is two different things.
They're two different things.
Yeah, so physically, right? I'm not no disrespect to the brothers who do manual work, yeah, and I rate them because, like, you know, it's an amazing skill to have. But builders, or let's say electrician or along those lines, yeah, isn't it something that they could potentially do without using their mind, but just physically, just okay, this needs to be fixed or this needs to be built, because they've done it so much.
Okay, right. So the builder's doing the physical side. Yeah, fine. Okay, just say he's not using much of his kind of mental
Energy,
yeah. Okay. You're sitting, for example, I don't know your job. I'm assuming you sit on the desk. Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yep, right.
Yeah.
So you're not moving around. You're not building. You're not jumping up and down, so forth. Yeah. But you're using your mental strength. Yeah. Right. So you both come home. These are two types of men that come home.
Yeah.
You're both tired.
I like this. Okay,
Yeah?
go on.
All right. You're both tired. Yeah. So you got one who's mentally tired, whatever. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Now, your wife. If she's got kids. Yeah. She will be mentally tired, and she'll be physically tired. So what excuse do you have, bro? You know. So that's where, if I put it that way, you have to take it into perspective. Now, I've always said, I'm not saying dads have got to stop doing everything and they just need to do all of that. I said, look, when you're there, help, chip in. That's what makes a marriage. That's what makes a family. And your kids, the key part of it, your kids. And I remember Sheikh Uthaymeen mentioned this. He said, it's from the sunnah of imitating the Prophet ﷺ for you to make your own cup of tea, for example. For you to do these chores in the house. What would happen is because the Prophet ﷺ used to also help out within the house when he was free and capable and able to do so. And then what happens is it builds love between you and your wife, because why? You've done something. You've eased her burden by doing something. Yeah.
So why?
And then your kids will see you and see you as an example.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. And it builds the love within the family, because we're looking at creating the family unit. You can't be like, all right, I'm just going to sit back and do jack all.
Yeah.
You do everything, and then, you know, I'll just running and I'll be the tickle monster.
That gave me shivers, man. That's some gems out there, man. Like, you know what it is? I reckon it's because of being called or being named or being saying, I don't want to use some certain terminologies, but let's just say our elders are not fond of that, yeah, and they put pressure.